What's up, guys? Enkiri here, and welcome to vlog number 80. Today we've got some strong work on the strict press coming up, along with a quick 5x5 on the Larsen press, and some more of my sort of seal rows. So, kicking things off here with the strict presses, I'm working with 170 pounds in this session, and this was my second time using this same weight for this workout. If you guys recall, in my vlog number 74, I showcased the first session with 170 pounds, and in that workout, I managed to hit 4 triples and then just a double on the 5th set, so 14 reps in total over 5 sets. Well, in this session, not only did I manage to successfully hit all 5 triples, but on the 5th set, with the fatigue mounting, I actually managed to grind out a 4th fucking rep for an all-time rep PR with this weight. Now, I will say that it was probably unadvisable. My shoulders were getting pretty tired at that point, the reps were starting to get pretty grindy, and I probably should have just taken the 5 triples, which is a 5x3 PR on this exercise, and a solid win, and just called it a day there. But sometimes you just need to throw the playbook out the window and say fuck you to the weights, and that's kind of what I did here. Anyway, we'll get to it though. These were pretty damn solid overall. The first few sets actually even felt easier than I thought they would feel. I can't really call them easy per se, but I expected myself to perceive them as harder than I did. I did have a little technical hiccup on the 3rd rep of the 2nd set, where the bar got out in front of me a smidge, which kind of threw things off. But other than that, the form was very crisp, I would say. I was keeping the bar in nice and tight to the body, keeping myself very well balanced overall, and just locking it out nice and smooth into the overhead slot. So that's good stuff. I'm quite pleased with this session and just how the strict press has progressed in general these last few months. I'm repping weights that I've never come close to repping before in the past, and I'm doing it repeatedly. So I've got nothing to complain about there. I've changed things up a little bit at this point because I want to go after some push press PRs and whatnot, but the strict press isn't going to go away entirely. I haven't tested it yet, and I'm not sure when I want to embark on something like that. Obviously, I want to hit a 225-pound strict press at some point. I obviously can't do that right now. I'm just not strong enough. So I don't know if there's any point in wasting training time and energy going after PR singles that will inevitably fall short of my goal weight. I have no problem though just clocking in every day and going through the process of training until I believe I'm actually strong enough to hit my goal, and then test it. And hell, that might take 5 years on this lift. Who the fuck knows? I've actually really fallen in love with the overhead pin press though, where the bar is set just at about clavicle height basically. I actually like that more now as an overhead variation than the freestanding press that I'm doing here. It just feels right. I think it's slightly weaker than this one, but I like how it feels better. And since I've cut my strict press work down a little bit now so that I can start working the push press, the pin press is actually the variation that I chose to keep in my program. I'm trying something a little bit different now in terms of reps than what I was doing before, but I think it'll work well. It's a variation that really lends itself to cluster style reps, and I'll talk more about the advantages of that and why I think this particular variation will be better trained that way a little bit later once I start posting those training sessions up here. Anyway, good stuff here. That 5th set was tough but solid, and I showed a little bit of grit grinding out that 4th rep for the rep PR and to finish up the 5x3 PR as well. So I'm pleased with that. And then after the strict press work, I moved on to some Larsen presses along with the pseudo seal rows I've been doing. I'm using 195 pounds on both exercises here, and I was a little bit annoyed with the bench press sets in this session. You'll notice on pretty much every set that at some point in the set, sometimes even more than once, I attempt to adjust my upper back positioning on the bench, and it's because I just could not fucking get stable for some reason. Every damn time I would unrack the bar and get started with a rep, I would then feel myself slipping to one side or the other on the damn bench, and it was really freaking annoying, and it also screwed things up massively. It's hard to get a strong press when your body is totally unstable and you feel like you might slide off the side of the bench. So a lot of these reps ended up looking kind of difficult. Whether or not they would have been if I had been able to balance myself better is the million-dollar question. But either way, this pissed me off. I'd rather just be too weak to lift something than to have things screw up because of technical errors. At least when you're too weak, you know you did everything you could, and the path forward is very clear. But when technique is the problem, it's just not as cut and dry. What little thing was I doing differently here that I couldn't even identify that was suddenly causing me to play slip and slide on the damn bench? Apparently, I was never setting myself up in a centered position, but I just wasn't picking up on that, which is irritating. And this didn't end up being a big deal or anything here, because since this session I've crushed this performance. I've done this weight for multiple sets of 8 now, I think, all paused, no leg drive, and I've been very slowly working my way up, and it's definitely paying off in terms of slow but consistent strength gains at this point. But still, it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes a slight technical error rears its head out of nowhere one day, and then you just can't fucking shake it. And all of a sudden, before you know it, you've ingrained these terrible motor patterns and bad habits, and those are a bitch to undo. I know I've talked about that before. So the moral of the story here is, fuck technical errors, man. They are a pain in the ass. Anyway, that's all I got for now, guys. Please be sure to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And definitely leave me some love in the comments down below. Keep training hard, and I will catch you guys next time.